So today we're going to be looking at a $1 racing sim, a $50 racing setup, and a $300 racing sim. So let's just get into it. So today we're just going to be comparing the gaming experience, racing experience between all of them and see which one is the best. We probably know which one is the best, but how better does it get? For all of them, it's basically assuming that you have a PC monitor, mouse, basically everything but the racing peripherals. So basically for every tier, we're going to be buying a game and see how much the game experience get, and of course the game will come in our budget, and then we're gonna of course rate them from 0 to 5 stars. So here's the $0 racing sim, and it's basically nothing, just a keyboard, PC, monitor, mouse, and that's pretty much it. So to find our $0 game, basically a free game, we're gonna be here and just removing all of the prices because we are going to be buying a free game. Racing, and now we're just gonna find something that I think is like cool and should be good for a keyboard.
So then I started looking for a game that will be perfect for our crazy racing setup. So I was looking at Trackmania. It's a pretty good game, but I think we need something a little bit more cooler. I think Trackmania is pretty cool, but we're gonna find something else. And we didn't have to worry about compatibility pretty much at all, because basically every game supports keyboard, so we find this one.
So here we are in Drift Experience Japan, and this is a game in Japan, and this is basically a drifting game that is pretty cool for keyboard. I found that on the Steam store, and it looks pretty fun, and for now it's pretty cool. I'm pretty bad at it. It's actually pretty nice, I just don't know how to drift, and the graphics are pretty good. If you have a great PC, the camera angle you gotta move with the mouse, and the controls honestly feel pretty good. It feels pretty fun to play. I don't know what is happening with the wheels. I don't know if they're supposed to look like that. The wheel feels a lot more realistic. Probably the controller feels quite a bit better. You got quite a bit more control. We can probably get a little bit better. So the biggest difference between a controller, keyboard, or a steering wheel like this Logitech G920 is because when you click something, it typically counts as one click right here. In a controller, you can kind of adjust the position, but it's a little bit harder. And of course, with the wheel, you got really nice adjustments, so you can make really nice turns with it. So that's the biggest problem with this keyboard. So honestly, the game experience isn't that bad, so I'm gonna give it 2 stars, because it's not the best, also not the worst, and it's pretty fun. Let's just get into our next one. So if you have a budget of $50, it's the best probably to buy a controller. It's probably better than buying a cheap wheel. This, you can use it for many other things. The wheel is basically just for sim racing. Controller, you can play a lot of games, pretty much. A lot of the games nowadays support a controller, and we are actually going to be able to afford a actual game. $50 you can basically get any controller. These are some cheap ones. These are like $30. This one works pretty well. It usually connects with a USB dongle or through Bluetooth, but if you're using Bluetooth, you will probably need a Bluetooth adapter for your PC, because normal PCs don't come with a Bluetooth adapter, so be careful with that. So probably the best options for us is CarX Drift or CarX Street, or basically any CarX. Most of them are $14, $10, and it should be pretty good for our controller. So here we are in CarX, and I'm pretty bad at it. I don't know how to reset. Okay, we're just gonna drive, I guess. I don't know how to do pretty much anything on controller. I'm used to driving with a wheel. You got a lot more control over pretty much everything, and I'm still bad at it. Pretty more difficult to drive with a controller, at least in this game. I don't know how like the last one would work on a controller. So yeah, this was how it's like playing with a controller, and it's honestly pretty fun, and yeah, I already like a 3 stars. Let's get into our last one. So for $300 budget, we're of course going to be using a normal steering wheel. This is a Logitech G920, I think. And let's get to some advantages of a steering wheel. So the main advantages of a Logitech, or pretty much any steering wheel around $200-$300 price tag, is you can get a force feedback wheel, and some of them even come with a shifter, and we're gonna be using this head shifter from Logitech. It was like $50. You can basically mount it on anything. You can also mount it on a racing sim. But yeah, this is pretty nice. Basically the big problem with my one was because the clamps broke on it, so I had to 3D print my own. Now I think it's time to set this whole racing sim up and test it out, of course. So here are the things that I already have set up. So my pedals are always on here, and I always have a cable running, and then this cable is for the wheel, and you can just connect it and pretty much everything is ready. Now it's just time to connect everything.
So the Logitech G920 has a lot of cables that you need to plug in. You basically need to plug in manually the pedals, the shifter, the power supply cable, and you just plug them into your PC, install a software, and then you're pretty much ready to play games. But before you play, of course, you need to do a little bit of cable management.
So the game that we're gonna be playing is The Crew 2, and I got a little bit of hours on it, and it's a pretty fun game, and it's not the newest. You can get Forza, you can get The Crew Motorfest, and this one currently is $30. The experience with a racing wheel basically is quite a bit more better. Like you get a force feedback, which is pretty nice. I'm pretty bad at it at the same time. Drive a lot nicer. You can make a lot of really nice turns. I'm not using a shifter for some reason. Also, the shifting with the shifter feels quite a bit more like fun. And the Crew 2 is pretty nice. You get a really big map, pretty much the entire US. Yeah, honestly, racing with a steering wheel or a shifter or any steering wheel, it's really fun. So honestly, the racing sim is pretty nice. I really like it, so I'll rate it probably 4 stars. And if you wanna get something even better, watch this video right here where I built a $200 racing sim.